a very good morning and warm wishes for a very happy, healthy, and prosperous New Year 2017 to all the delegates. Alumni from various batches have been invited back to the campus for Silver Jubilee, Golden Jubilee reunions. And we all get together in a feeling of nostalgia and camaraderie. Today we are gathered here at the BITSAA Global Meet to honor not only the time spent in an institute, which we hold very dear with friends, but also to help shape and create a better future for current students and contribute back to our alma mater. A very warm welcome to the third avatar of BGM, for the first time being held outside of India, here in Dubai, United Arab Emirates. Ahlan wa sahlan. The alumni attending BGM today extend from 1950s till date. So this speaks volumes about the connection we as students of Pilani campus, India, have for this old and reputed institution. But we cannot be sitting on our laurels of the past, right? So we need to transform, reform, and perform as per changing times. So in this two-day conference, which has been very carefully curated to help each of you to transform, reform, and perform at a higher level than what you actually came in and walked through that door. As individuals, as alumni chapter, as batchmates, and institute stakeholders. The three pillars of BGM 2017, the three pillars of 2017, if you see here, are innovation, inspiration, and industry. So when we have inspired people, a space gets created where ideas are ready to germinate. Industrious, relentless effort is needed of nurturing that space and that idea so that the idea can translate into action. The thought leadership emerging from this room over the next 48 hours, I promise you, will inspire you to innovate, create, and industrialistly act. After all, we have 6 decades of alumni right here in this room. So let's just quickly go through what is planned for the next 2 days of the conference. Our keynote speaker will reflect on a multidimensional career, following which we have our first session on technology. Bots and robots, we discuss 30 years of innovation in microprocessors, the future of human-machine intelligence. Youth and disruptive new ideas will be discussed by BITSAA venture capitalists, who will continue in the post-lunch session with a closed-door speed networking event where we have very carefully shortlisted 13 startup ideas and 1 local idea from across the 4 campuses of BITS Pilani, Hyderabad, Dubai, and Goa. So they are all here, and that closed-door session will be happening in the room G34. We have campus tours starting from the foyer. You need to register at the information desk. Laughter yoga outside near the library at about 12. I request everyone now to rise as a mark of respect for the national anthem of UAE and India to start the inauguration ceremony.
الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. لو أنزلنا هذا القرآن على جبل لرأيته خاشعا متصدعا من خشية الله. وتلك الأمثال نضربها للناس لعلهم يتفكرون. هو الله الذي لا إله إلا هو عالم الغيب والشهادة هو الرحمن الرحيم. هو الله الذي لا إله إلا هو الملك القدوس السلام المؤمن المهيمن العزيز الجبار المتكبر. سبحان الله عما يشركون. هو الله الخالق البارع المصور له الأسماء الحسنى يسبح له ما في السماوات والأرض وهو العزيز الحكيم. صدق الله العظيم.
सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः।
I now request warmly the Chairman Organizing Committee, Mr. MP Sharma, and Director, BITSAA Dubai Campus, to kindly lead our guests. Chief guest, the guest of honor, on stage. Consul General of India, Mr. Anurag Bhushan, President, University of Dubai, Dr. Isa M. Bastaki, and VC, Professor Saubik Bhattacharjee. Thank you. I welcome Mr. MP Sharma, Chairman Organizing Committee, to please give his welcome address. Thank you.
Your Excellency Anurag Bhushan, Consul General of India, Your Excellency Dr. Bastaki, President of University of Dubai, Professor Suvik Bhattacharya, Vice Chancellor BITS Pilani, Professor Ashok Sarkar, Director Pilani Campus, Professor Raghuram, Director Goa Campus, Professor Saha, Director Dubai Campus, our esteemed guests, BITSians, spouses, and dear students, good morning. On behalf of the organizing committee and my personal behalf, a very warm welcome on this third edition of BITS Alumni Global Meet. We thank you very much for coming to Dubai, especially for those who have flown miles and miles away. And I know a lot of people came pretty late yesterday night. BGM is a homecoming and a celebration of being a BITSian. From the first meet in New Delhi in 2011, the meet has seen BITSians from across the world gather together to redefine alumni network, relieve nostalgia, and also collaborate with the industry and academics to nurture the BITS Pilani as a global engineering institute. The journey continued to Hyderabad in 2014, and now it has arrived at Dubai. BGM is envisioned to be a platform of conference of ideas and aspirations from innovations, aspirations and industry, and that's why we adopted the theme for BGM 2017. Aligned to this theme, over the next 2 days, you'll get prominent industrialists, acclaimed academics, seasoned venture capitalists, and thought leaders. We have organized panel discussions on education, technology, manufacturing, and corporate ethics, to name a few. And also for the first time, we have an exclusive speed mentoring session for the budding entrepreneurs. BITS Pilani, as you know, campuses have always been a hotbed for innovations. True to their spirit, we have had a dozen students, innovators from 4 campuses to attend this speed mentoring session. And this will be guided by the entrepreneur journey and directed by the venture capitalist. No BITSian gathering is complete without networking and fun. So we have adequate doses of musty too. BGM is not just a BITSian, but also the BITS families. And therefore, for all the spouses, we have arranged for local sightseeing and shopping trips around Dubai. You may sign up at the information desk near the foyer. As I conclude, I would like to first thank His Excellency Anurag Bhushan for his guidance and support all throughout. His involvement was quite a bit, and despite his busy schedule and official commitments. I would also like to extend our sincere appreciation to Dr. Bastaki. Actually, when we called him to invite him for the BGM, he was in his car and his acceptance was spontaneous. Sir, we are truly honored to have you here, and I would like to thank you for your encouragement and commitments. BGM 17 has been put together by a bunch of regional alumni balancing their regular careers and BITSian passion. Some of us have taken 2 weeks off to dedicate to BGI. Dubai campus team, led by Professor Saha and his staff, and over 100 student volunteers have worked hard to enhance the delegate experiences. So we hope you enjoy the event to the fullest and take back memories of the great time, old and the new. An event of this scale couldn't have been possible without the generosity of our sponsors. So I'd like to thank Aditya Birla Group, Inventures, Gulf News, Master Baker, SRIT, just to name a few. Once again, we welcome you all to the 2017 BGM and wish you have a great time in Dubai. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sharma, for that very warm welcome. I now request our Consul General of India, Mr. Anurag Bhushan, but a few words about him. Mr. Anurag Bhushan joined the Indian Foreign Service as a career diplomat in 1995. His overseas assignment started from Tokyo, going to Dhaka, and then Berlin. Mr. Anurag Bhushan joined as Consul General of India in Dubai in December 2013. His first and foremost focus was to bridge the then prevailing gap between the local Indian expats and the consulate. The first International Yoga Day was a historic mega event held in Dubai. The first visit of Prime Minister Modi to UAE, especially his public interaction in Dubai, was a grand success with the dynamic efforts of Mr. Bhushan. Mr. Bhushan conceptualized India-UAE Economic Forum to enhance the India-UAE bilateral trade and investment. This has been held twice in the last 2 years. As per Prime Minister Modi's initiative, Mr. Bhushan successfully launched Make in India campaign in Dubai. To facilitate, simplify, and secure employment for Indian laborers and workforce, Mr. Bhushan took interest to successfully implement the e-migrate in Dubai. With his personal interest and encouragement to these stakeholders, Dubai is able to today register 19,000 companies under e-migrate. A big round of applause for that. Mr. Bhushan utilized the technology in its fullest to provide better and better service and interaction with Indian expats in Dubai and Northern Emirates. The CGI Dubai mobile app serves as an important channel for 24/7 communication and information from the consulate. Anurag Bhushan has grown up largely in Uttar Pradesh. He's an alumnus of IIT Kanpur and holds a postgraduate diploma in executive management from the Indian Institute of Management, Ahmedabad. But there is a connection to us as well, which he will, delve into. His hobbies include playing tennis, golf, and swimming. He's hosted the golf tournament here as an India-UAE Friendship Cup. He has a son and a daughter. His wife, Mrs. Neeta Bhushan, is also an Indian Foreign Service and is presently Deputy Chief of Mission at the Indian Embassy in Abu Dhabi. Put your hands together and welcome our very dear and energetic Indian Consul General for Dubai and Northern Emirates, Mr. Anurag Bhushan.
Thank you for reading out the longer CV and not the shorter one that my office had by mistake sent to you. I had sent a longer CV because I was not too sure. First of all, good morning. Very, very good morning to you all. Like some of the engineer, I'm not up to my full form in the morning. So pardon. So I was saying that I gave the longer CV because I was not too sure why BITSAA had invited me to inaugurate this great global meet. Babus do not come often in mind when you're talking of inspiration or innovation. Or I think there might be an image makeover happening, and I think that's a good thing that's happening. No credit to us. Or it could be that BITSAA believes that all successful conferences start at the low point and then end at the high point. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen, BITSAA, for inviting me here. It's a rare and thrilling experience to be here among some of the very best engineers in the world. I truly value the presence of all of you who have cleared their calendars, undertook long journeys, just so that you could return to a place, your college, your alma mater, among your colleagues that hold such lasting and powerful meaning to all of you. I had just had an alumni meet this year, so I know that the experience of spending these 2 days together is centered on one single experience, that life is hard, and yet it is endlessly rich with possibilities and challenges. And we need, as we go through this journey, friends, passion, and humility to endure and excel. Tying ourselves to institutions like this, BITS Plani, IIT Kanpur in my case, and with the people who have nurtured us and sustained us is an expression of gratitude, first of all, but also of need and love. So thank you for all of you for coming here, taking time out, and wonderful to be here on this great morning. Of course, as I said, that we also had this reunion. We had the 25th reunion, and when I got this invitation to speak, I agreed readily because I had so many mixed emotions about my own meet, that I thought this would be a good opportunity to offload the entire thing on your heads and enlighten myself. So, when this happened about 8 months back, and when we landed up in IIT Kanpur, we all, in the campus, we all sounded a little goofy. I'm sure all of you would be feeling that same. Hyper nostalgic, and very awkward. And we all had images of ourselves strapping young men, quite lean, surviving on mess food barely, into what can be politely described as 50 shades of gray. We walked around the campuses trying to relive the same life, the same emotions. But to me, it sounded as if we were very awkward, as somebody who is trying to get used to gravity after being in space for a long time. We went to many places which we frequented, such as the library, because you could not get into the girls' hostel, so that was the second best place to go to. And some places which were not very well frequented, like bathrooms, for instance. We relived great moments. For example, for many of us, it was passing through the course on fluid mechanics. And we also collectively regretted great things that we had set out to do in the first year of our engineering, and we could not do it despite our best effort, which was to strike a reasonably intelligent conversation with the opposite sex. But we also realized that in all this, a lot of things had changed. Our wardrobe, for instance. I can tell you that in IIT Kanpur, one of my favorite piece of clothes was a pair of jeans which was reddish brown in color. And my wife used to say, it was not strange that you were wearing it. It is even stranger that nobody else was noticing it also. And to tell you the truth, and I'm in one of the candid moments, that I carried these jeans to my first date with my wife. And after that, my wife could only be convinced of marriage after our mutual friend said that after marriage, the wardrobe is entirely the responsibility of the wife, so don't worry. But I tell you, the most exciting thing after attending all this was that after 25 years of separation, everyone was the same, really nice person, very happy with their life, no matter how many different choices they had made. Some have taken different ways, different paths. I had left engineering, some had continued. But we were all very happy. And there was that something nice, something that gave a new perspective to my own life as I further move. And I'm sure that next 2 days, as you spend with your batchmates, with your colleagues, you will have the same experiences. That no matter what choices life throws up, no matter what balls you catch, life is great. It's full of possibilities, full of excitement, and it's the values, the culture, the education that the institution gives that gives you the capability of harnessing it or exploiting it. And the fact that you all have come here is a realization that BITS Pilani has done something wonderful to your life. I was going through this BITS Pilani thing when I got this because I need to know a lot more about Pilani. So I have to tell you honestly that I'm part of Birla family because I did my 12th from Birla Vidya Mandir. And thank you very much, thank you very much. And I had two paths. At that time from Birla Vidya Mandir, you could go to, there was a direct path to Pilani. And of course, I got through IIT Kanpur also. But as the thing would be, my father did not know where Pilani was. And he knew where Kanpur was because he was living there. So we chose IIT Kanpur. But I always wondered that how education would have been different if I were in Pilani. So I read about this story of one guy called Alam Ali who dropped out of BITS Pilani for some reason, random reason, I don't understand, maybe some professor. And then, he was called back by his batchmates to complete his journey. It was such a wonderful and telling speech, Something that I don't think IIT Kanpur you would find. Actually, you would find many people who will discourage you from joining IIT Kanpur. Nobody but who will call you after. So I wonder that such great friendships still is. And I also wonder that not only, there are many, many colleges all across India which gives you fabulous academic knowledge. But to give humanistic knowledge, I think that's something that very, very few institutions does. My school did it, Birla Vidya Mandir. It was so different than all other schools that were there around that region. And there were beautiful, big schools, Sherwood, George, and all those. I still found Birla Vidya Mandir a cut above others. And I'm sure that I can speak the same about planning. What a wonderful institute. So I congratulate BITSAA for organizing this great alumni meet. You know, when our alumni meet, when our alumni association set out to organize this reunion, the entire focus was on Black Label and Johnny Walker and Shivas. You know, there should be enough of it. So I'm great that actually BITSAA has worked, has gone a step beyond and done something more substantive. So congratulations to BITSAA as well. And the theme is appropriate: inspiration, innovation, and industry. And I have to tell you that you can't find a better place to organize this. First of all, you organize it in Dubai campus, which is young and wonderful. As all young lives are, they are full of possibilities, full of ambition. And I have no doubt that it is at its right path. And under Mr. Saha and his colleagues, it's doing a wonderful job. I can say that without any hesitation. The second thing I can say without hesitation is the good place that you have chosen in Dubai. It's a marvelous city. It's a marvelous country. I am very fond of saying this, and I have to say it in front of Dr. Bastaki as well, that in 1950s there were not many three-storied buildings as well, right, sir? By late 1960s, sir, there were only 20, 30, 40 buildings with 4 stories or something like that, right? By about 70s, there was only one multi-story World Trade Center, right, between Dubai and Abu Dhabi. You would have seen many, many countries, but no country has developed so fast, so fabulously in one generation. And we have to salute the Emiratis, including Dr. Bastaki, people like Dr. Bastaki, who have made this possible. As you drive past Sheikh Zayed Road, you would see such fabulous buildings with great example of avant-garde architecture. A lot of Indian innovation, Indian brains have gone. And I think if you have to see what Indian wonders can do, Dubai is the place to see that. Before I leave this program, I was also asked to speak about innovation and inspiration. So I said that you are looking at the wrong person. So I called immediately Dr. Bastaki and told him to save me from this. So I leave the inspiration and innovation bit to my my next speaker, but I have to speak a word about him. Many, many visionary Emiratis have made this great country. But I can't find nobody as distinguished as Dr. Isa Bastaki. He's a fellow engineer, of course. But he's also an institution builder. And that for us engineers is a big deal because we all get opportunities at some point in time to apply our knowledge. But to build institutions, that's an opportunity only very few have and a capacity to deliver even lesser. He's the founder, one of the founders of Silicon Oasis, and currently he is busy in establishing University of Dubai as one of the premier university of not just this country, but in the region. He is a very notable engineer, thinker, and change agent. And he has created several forums for developing innovative technological solutions. We were just talking about, what was that? Ankabut, and his blueprint that he had given to the government on which this entire Internet 2 web is based on. It is his efforts and inspirations such as this and that of his colleagues that lead to disruptive technological innovation that generates not only wealth to UAE and its people, but also a social change. in bringing people-to-people interactions and furthering technological advances. So I'm therefore very honored that he follows me to the podium, sir. But before I leave, let me leave you with the words of the same person, Adam Ali, who I spoke. At his convocation, he said, BITSians are destined to achieve greatness. Today, as I look at all of you, the great achievers, I know his words have never rung truer. So thank you for giving me, for inviting me, and for giving me your undivided attention. Happy New Year, and best wishes to you and I love in advance. May you enjoy the next 2 years.
Thank you very, very much, Mr. Anurag Bhushan, for that humor, which he's very famous for. He asked me, should I unleash it on you guys? I said, yes. Okay, let's move on. Dr. Issa Bastaki, I'd like to introduce you. Dr. Issa Bastaki is the president of University of Dubai and former CEO of the ICT Fund, where he actively led the effort to create an ecosystem in the UAE ICT industry by encouraging entrepreneurship, funding R&D projects, and university scholarships, and implementing ICT initiatives at the school level as well. Now, in terms of his distinguished career, he held many senior posts, including Director of Education Technology at the Dubai Silicon Oasis Authority, and also various other institutions such as the technology section at the Technology and Energy Research Institute. Dr. Bastaki is one of the founder DSO and RIT Dubai. He's the founder of IT Center of Al Ain Municipality. Dr. Bastaki's current professional activities include chairman of the technical committee for the Emirates Energy Awards. He's also the chairman of the board of Emirates Science Club and the member of the board of the Cultural and Science Association. He's a board member and chair of 2 judging committees. One is the Drones for Good Award and Robotics, and AI for Good Award. In addition, he's chairing the Sheikh Khalid bin Tannaf Al-Minhali's Award for Innovation. Please welcome Dr. Issa. Born in Dubai, Dr. Bastaki is a UAE national scientist and researcher as well. He is studied in university. The reason I'm having him here is we have a lot of people from Silicon Valley, right? And he's electrical engineering from University of California, San Diego, PhD from University of California, Irvine. I welcome Dr. Bastaki, please.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Your Excellency, Mr. Anurag Bhushan, Your Excellency, Dr. Bhattacharya, Vice Chancellor, Your Excellencies, Directors of BITS Pilani campuses, BITSians, BITSAAs, gentle ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I think, Mr. Bhushan, IT tricked you of taking engineering. If you were in BITS, you would be an engineer. I am a very good friend of BITS. Generally speaking, a good friend of also Indian community. I speak Hindi, I write Hindi. People think I write Hindi, the Urdu, which is the Arabic script. I said, no, it's Hindi. So I'm always there in the events. One of the things, of course, I have only half an hour and my lectures are always 1 hour. So I don't know how I can do it, but I'll try my best. And I'm not that humorous like Mr. Bhushan. I'll be serious now after what I'm talking about. I like always, there was newspapers that told me, asked me, who are your competitors as a university? I said, I don't worry about the universities that are high standard and they look for quality. These are not my competitors. We have co-opetition. So we cooperate and meet together to raise the level of both together. Our problem is the kiosk education centers, or whatever you can call institutions. These kiosks are the ones that are selling education and not really educating the people. They are our of competitors because they are stealing our students with no context, no content, nothing. And that's something very sad. And they are in the United Arab Emirates, some of these kiosks. So competition is the word I like. Of course, disruptive innovation is the other thing I like. Well, before I start my talk, I just have some introduction. A true leader, the leader talks about individuals, people, human capital. And this is what was said, that the resources to building the individual, this was said by the late Sheikh Zayed, rahmatullah alayh. Wealth is not money, wealth lies in men. That means we in UAE, we care about human capital because they are the ones who create these kind of technologies, this kind of knowledge. And we actually serve the human beings. At the end, it's all. Serve from a human being to a human being. The Federation of United Arab Emirates looks at one thing. It looks at true wealth, it's people. So the wealth is not money, but it's people. And this is said by Sheikh Khalid bin Zayed, the President of United Arab Emirates. And of course, another true leader, there's no other choice but being number one. And I think you all know who said it. Right? You all know who said it. Sheikh Mohammed Barashid, right? He wants number one and only number one, nothing else. Sometimes there were press conference, they asked him, why you want to be number one? He said, well, if I tell you who was the first person to step on the moon, everybody said Neil Armstrong. I said, okay, who was the second? And nobody knew. He said, I rest my case. And of course, Ed Bazoun, we know it, but nobody knew it. So that's why he likes to be number one. And impossible doesn't exist in his dictionary. So if you go and open it, I think it's cancelled. Ah, interesting. Now I'm enjoying it. So now I can use my laser. Now this is a very interesting thing said, is that Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed, the Crown Prince of Abu Dhabi, said that if we invest in education, after 50 years, we'll be celebrating to export the last barrel of oil. That means the economy will be sustainable. And this is what we are looking at. What is it we need to do to make it sustainable? You've heard about this book, right? Wamdatun Fikr means flashes of thought. It's a very small book, and now it's next year they will use it in class 8 in schools, this book. Very simple, but a lot of knowledge and wisdom in it. Government's job is to achieve happiness to the society. He said it before there was a happiness minister. Now he's talking about 24 hours per day work, 7 days per week, and 365 days per year. What does that mean? Of course, leap year 366. So what does it mean? He means that everything will be online. Everything will be through your mobile. Whatever you move, it's there. So you don't need to worry about what time is it when you get that service. A person asked me, how can you become number one and stay number one? He said, I told him, get used not to get used to. It makes a lot of sense. If you're used to getting number one, you're there, and you are happy, and it's like a comfort zone, then somebody else will come and beat you, or make sure that they don't beat you. The biggest risk is not to take the risk. I'll talk about this a little more later. And of course, this is what he said. I used in the first slide. And his example is the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. Now, X-cities evolution to knowledge-based societies or smarter cities. E-city, which is mainly for services online, electronic city. And then mobile city, services are mobile. And then ubiquitous city with services online and services are mobile everywhere. And then smarter cities, which is knowledge-based, ubiquitous services to everyone. Now, the smarter cities, there are some elements very important. It's big data, cloud computing, security, and Internet of Things. Actually, all of them are, you can sometimes call them all cloud, something can call them all IoT, but they have a problem of big data and security. So lots of research has been done in these two, how to do analytics of big data and how to take care of the security, especially that one day will come that they can hack a person. Once your person can be hacked, it's a big problem. And I'll talk about it. So when I talk about smart city or smarter cities, smart classrooms, smarter health, smarter tourism, building, transportation, energy management, agriculture, anything that's got to do, it's going to be smart in the future. So knowledge-based, smarter cities. Now, what is the definition, or my definition of smarter cities towards knowledge-based economy? Cities that deliver digital, ubiquitous services to anyone, anytime, anywhere, and anything, anywhere, and anytime, efficiently using robust, super speed, reliable, and secured ICT. So it's super speed, reliable, where the Ankabut will come into being, and then security ICT infrastructure. This is the key point to working for research in the future, is security and security only. Now this now is my speech, so now I need half an hour. Introduction and vision, the recipe for achieving a sustainable or sustaining smarter cities. Why do I need 1 hour? Because it's a recipe. You can't forget the pepper or forget the salt. It has to be there, right? But you can increase the salt, decrease the salt, increase the pepper, decrease the pepper. That's where the half an hour came from 1 hour. I had to decrease some of the things that I need to say. The number one is leadership and innovation. Leadership is a part, very important part of becoming sustainable. And this is the reason why our country is going through a lot of changes, a lot of advancements because of the leadership. Second one is a knowledge-based society ecosystem. It's education, and I mean quality and only quality. Then it's research and business development. I added the word business. The problem with this part of the world, and even India and Pakistan, and this area completely, all this area, our research and development is just to be promoted or do some development for something, and that's it. But nothing really looks at doing some business sense in those research. So I added the word B, the letter B, which is business development. This is what we lack in this part of the world. Innovation and entrepreneurship is the third one, and the fourth one is ICT infrastructure. Today I'm going to talk about the Ankabut. So leadership, knowledge-based society ecosystem, and it's very important to know the future, what's going to happen. Future trends. I'm going to talk about all these elements. And future trends, because you need to be prepared from now before somebody else comes and leads before you. And this is not for UAE only. It's for UAE, for the whole area, for the whole our area I'm talking about, which is the bigger area, our neighbors. The strategic vision after oil is to achieve a long-term, sustainable, prosperous, and productive lifestyle. After oil for years next generations. So the idea is to get the same lifestyle we have right now and make it sustainable. As long as we can do that after oil, then we are going to meet the vision of Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed, who said after 50 years. The recipe for sustainable smarter cities, first one is leadership. There was a conference to young leaders, and it was said to them, I want you young leaders to be lions and work towards leading lions and not sheep. If you have the power by others, by stealing the power from the others, you're never going to stay there for long. You want to make sure you are powerful, but everybody else is working with you are also powerful. And it's a very strong sentence said by somebody towards lions who initiate, suggest, debate, and achieve. Of course, it's always Sheikh Mohammed. Thinking is progress. Non-thinking is stagnation of the individual, organization, and the country. So first element is very important, thinking, but thinking leads to action. Knowledge without action is useless and irrelevant. Knowledge with action, what does it do? It actually converts adversity into prosperity. So some problem somewhere, some poverty somewhere. The reason is countries of the world are trying to help them, to give them money, give them food, but that's not sustainable. They always depend on you. You need to do something to make it, change that adversity into prosperity. And you know who has said this? The late President of India, Dr. Abdul Kalam. We choose to go to the moon and do other things in this decade, not because it's easy, but because it is hard. Very simple word, but beautifully said. Nothing is easy. If you want to get it easy, then forget about doing it. It has to be hard. anything to achieve, it's hard, it's not easy. And this was in 1962 by John F. Kennedy. The day soldiers stop bringing you their problems is the day you have stopped leading them. They have either lost confidence or they think you don't care. And leaders who whine and blame engender those same behaviors to their colleagues. So if you're a leader, you're always whining and you're always complaining, make sure that you know that you're going to engender that to the other people. And if this was said by Colin Powell. I don't have time, so I'll just quickly leave this. The thing is that leadership is the capacity to translate vision to reality. That's something very important. And these two books are very important to read. One of them is Warren Bennis. He passed away 2 years ago, author of On Becoming a Leader, and Peter Drucker, who passed away 6 or 7 years ago, Innovation and Entrepreneurship. These are two excellent books to read to understand leadership and innovation. What are the characteristics of a leader? A leader should always have a vision. That's something known. Anytime I see Sheikh Mohammed sitting down, I'm seeing he's away somewhere else. He's thinking, where is it he needs to go? Every time you see him, he's always thinking where to go. Sometimes he concentrates on what you're saying, but suddenly he goes away for a while and then comes back again. This is the vision he has, and he knows exactly. So a leader should know how to plan to reach that vision. A leader should be ambitious and innovative. A leader should lead by example. And these are all the traits that our leaders have actually in the country. A leader should empower. Empower is not enough, because sometimes you give the power to subordinates. At the same time, then what? You need to make sure that you have to enable them, give them the tools. So empower them and give them the tools necessary to make them successful. A leader should produce leaders. A leader should be very bold, of course, and they'll always think out of the box. So those who are going to sleep this 15 minutes from now on, you'll wake up. Okay? Knowledge ecosystem, education, quality, and only quality. And of course, the other four of them I'm talking about. So let's look at education towards innovation. A famous, His Excellency Jamal Majid, he's a businessman and he's also a philanthropist. He said that the best donation is education. And I think I take from this that from K to 12, it should be free for everybody. Everybody. This is the only way to fight poverty and fight ignorance. Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. Of course, I mean positively. And this is something that we have in not only this part of the world, lots of parts of the world. The problem is teachers are not paid well. And sometimes it's rote learning and memorization. That's not how you need. You need to make sure that a student he should love to learn. L to L, I call it. Once you create that instill it in that student that loves to learn, then for sure you have made it a success. So this is a problem that he talks about, and Christopher Shorter is a very excellent, he has a book on that. There's a commercial break, I'll do it quickly. Okay, so you didn't see it, right? Second, the research and business development. And I emphasize on business. I emphasize on business and I emphasize on business. R&D, we have a problem. Even in India, when we talk about R&D, actually, the Indians are very successful. They are abroad and they do an excellent job. CEOs of big companies, everything. But what is it that you're doing it there? You have the capabilities to do so many things. They tried to start a fab for electronic. They couldn't, so they went to the software. Why? They should do it. So do you have industry? Lots of industry is there, but till now you are serving your own market only. You need to go abroad. So the word business should be in every university for them when they work on research. 40% of the research, 30% of research should be on business. The others is okay, basic research and applied research. Again, this part of the world, we have some issues that we can't go into R&BD. The number one, who are the constituents of R&BD? The first, I call it the culture. So we need to actually change the culture of the people in this part, researchers. Either in industry or in universities. The culture, once you change it, then you can go and talk about R and BD. Either we talk about R only or maybe R and D. But R and BD is where we need to have a lot of activities to ensure that to change the culture of those researchers. Academia. Academia is a big part of it. All the research of the world are done in academia, but it's called cheap research for the industry. Why did you come to universities? Do you like it? No. If they do it, it costs them 10 times more if it's been done in universities. So you need to ask for more, by the way. Industry. It's always, they say it's chicken and egg. Who should start first, the universities, academia, or industry? I say, I know, I have the answer. It's the academia. They have to prove themselves. Because industry will come. And those countries that are very developed, the industries are all collaborating with universities because they've proved themselves. So we need to prove ourselves. We need to give them solutions. And then we don't sit there and say the industry is not coming to us. It's chicken and egg problem. It's not. So if you prove yourself, then you don't worry about the industry. The other constituent is the government. Government should always do initiatives. And I was talking to the minister, one minister, I told him, why don't you initiate things? He said, you want government to do everything? I said, no. You initiate, we'll take over. You should start doing something. Even in Silicon Valley, that thing happened. Private sector either through venture capitalists or sometimes through corporate social responsibility. These are the things that we need. If all these constituents are met, we are going to say, now we are doing the right thing in R&BD. Entrepreneurship, innovation, and incubation. UAE's National Innovation Strategy, which was 2 years ago, it was Innovation Year, they had strategy in 7 sectors. I put in the rest, THEWREST. First one is T is transportation, H is health, E is education, W is water resources, RE is renewable energy, and S is space, and T is technology. So these are seven actually sectors of the national strategy in UAE. Never underestimate the value of an idea. Each positive idea has within it potential for success if it's managed properly. This means that we need to take care of them. We need to incubate ideas. Every idea is important once you know how to deal with it and manage it properly to be a success. As Sheikh Muhammad said, the business is not the rest. I say you miss 100% of shot you didn't take. That's normal, right? You don't take a shot, 0% of success. Once you take the shot, you may hit. So it's always more than 0. And the greatest danger for most of us is not to aim high, but to aim low. So I can reach here and I'm comfort zone. Actually, you have to go and try to somewhere you can't. And that's where the innovation comes. Einstein, of course, looks at always at value for humanity. He says, try not to become a man of success, but rather to become a man of value. What I mean, it doesn't mean not to become success, but value should be a big part of it. But of course, if we just work for value of people, then we all be hungry in the world. That's why you need to listen to Thomas Edison. He said, anything that don't sell, I don't want to invent it. He's right. So it's both together. Add value to humanity, plus you need to make sure you can sell. Indian economy, information, education, I think I skipped this one. It seemed I have the old one. I hope. Well, now we talk about incubation and entrepreneurship as a center. What is it that's required? Some of the incubation centers are not successful. If you have an idea or concept, it's reviewed and then it goes into an incubation center. Once it goes into incubation center, there's incubatees, and then there's some service you give them, like fully offices fitted and secretarial, conference room, pantries, whatever you give them, but they forget about something called business acceleration center. So engineers think they can do everything, and they are always failures of engineers to do something in knowledge, except if they collaborate with business people. So you need to have sense in business. That's why this is very important, like service offered by this, marketing, business development, sales support, accounting, legal issues, entrepreneurship training, mentoring, soft skills, VC access, venture capital. We have a big problem in the UAE. We don't have any VC, 0 VC in the country. And you have a lot of VCs in India, by the way. You can use them. Strategic partner access, recruitment of HR, IP management, technology support. These are things you need to add them into that incubation center to make it a success. And then you graduate to a startup or an exit strategy. A success story is always well known by Silicon Valley. Why was it? The recipe of the success recipe of Silicon Valley. Why was it successful? Because universities and R&BD were there, Stanford and UC Berkeley. Then skilled workers were graduated from same universities. And then early adopters, the government. You see the word unproven. US military were too willing to buy new and unproven products. Why? Just to encourage them to make them right if it's not right. Service infrastructure. You need all these together, interconnected network of firms, law firms, investment banks, everything is there. It has to be there. And available venture capital. In 1974, there were 150 VCs in Silicon Valley. And I said 0 in UAE. And that is how long ago? I've been advocating this a lot. I think it's happening now. The government is listening to me. It's good they're listening to me. And after some compliment the organization, one of the things that it's against my recipe is it's a leaderless. It's completely leaderless. It's leaderless and is an organic growth model. That's why no other Silicon valleys or cities succeeded, because they had a CEO. They don't have a CEO. But that's an exception. There's the only one in the world that's successful without a leader. Now, there's some awards about in the country I like to talk about. I have 5 minutes. I think they said that annual Drones for Good award, I think you all need to know, because you can participate. Every year it's there. And it's $1 million for international and $1 million for national. And BITS Pilani have been, last year they were there. This year also they have applied for it. And you've reached the final, right? You reached the final, right? And also Robotics for Good and Artificial Intelligence. And then, of course, Emirates Energy Award every 2 years. This is only for MENA region, the last one. The other I'm running also other, these are all government, which I'm running these awards. Now, I like to give some examples of the country. What we do is, we have Mohammed bin Rashid Space Center. It started as EAST. This EAST means, I can't remember the word. It's, anyway, I knew it before. Today I forgot. So this is science and technology. This is institute, yeah, Emirates Institution for Advanced, so on. The vision was something, but then it changed 2 years ago, and they had the MBR Space Center to actually build satellites in the country and launch it. And there are some, of course, main sectors like ground network and outer space exploration, so on, so many things. The first one they did was Dubai Sat 1 and Dubai Sat 2. They launched these. It's, this is a technology that was imported from Australia, and most of them are UAE nationals. This is one of the few projects in the country that nationals are engineers doing it. Khalifa Sat, this is the one that's 100%, if you go and visit it, 100% by UAE nationals. 100%, not even 99.99. This shows that now the nationals are into technology, into engineering, into science, and so on. Then there's a nanosatellite, let's go quickly, Naif, and Mars mission. I know that Mars mission, what you did, nobody can do in the world. I mean, you did it so quickly and so inexpensively, and it was a breakthrough for India. So we are trying to reach that also. We are going to be the 9th country to be in the space program, and we are expecting the 50th anniversary, we are going to reach to Mars in 9 months. It'll take us 9 months to reach there, and it's 100% built in UAE. Of course, the launch itself is somewhere else. Future Museum, I'm not going to talk about it. Future Museum or Future Accelerators is something that they started in Dubai, is bringing the brains of the world and bringing the projects of the world, and then you compete with each other, and then the government brings the VCs. That's where VCs coming in now. I was there and I saw them coming in, and they're going to fund these projects. And one of the projects which will be implemented is the Hyperloop. You have heard of Hyperloop, right? It's like the capsule that can go from Dubai to Abu Dhabi in 11 minutes. And from Fujairah, 12 minutes. And it's amazing. People are scared to go there, but I think it'll be very safe. And so many other things they have, so many initiatives they have. The 3D printing is one big part of it. They've built some of them in 3D printing. And if you look at it, how many applications were there for that accelerators? 2,274 from 72 countries. And now there are 15 of them that are finalists, and I saw all the 15. I can't remember them. But they are excellent projects that we are going to fund, and it's made in UAE, sold globally. If I look at the ecosystem now, education, I said, basic and applied R&BD, incubation and startups, the 3 elements, and the 4th element coming. This is what will make the whole thing made in UAE, sold globally. And this is our goal. Made in UAE, sold globally. We have to create our knowledge to succeed. I have some indices, I canceled them because it's important for the leaders to know, but for you, I don't think you need to know, so I just canceled it. But doesn't mean you create knowledge as in technology. It could be a book. If you write a book to be sold globally, it's made in UAE, sold globally. Literature, art, cinema. So India is exporting cinema. United States exporting cinema. But United States exports everything. They export cinema, art, technology, books, whatever you can see, they're exporting. Food. It seemed like it's the best example to take to become successful with the United States. Some may not agree with me. Ankabut is the 4th one of the elements. This is create an opportunity for UAE to be a global leader in research education. And it started a long time ago. Now we have more than 70 campuses connected to Ankabut. University of Dubai will be soon in coming months to be a part of it. So these are the campuses that are connected to the Ankabut, and it's 10 gigabit per second backbone with access condition to have 1 gigabit per second gigapop to go into that network. It's a must. If you don't have 1 giga, you're not allowed to go in. And the cost is 100,000 dirhams per year. So till now, 31 institutions, but 79 campuses. All of them are connected to Ankabut. This is the board. I'm somewhere here. Virtual reality is the big thing for only 10 minutes. Good, thank you. Virtual reality in Ankabut is like in a library. If you have one library in UAE, actually using virtual reality, you can actually go into the library by wearing something and go and open the door, go to the right shelf, take the book, open it, and read it as if you are physically there. This is what the virtual reality is looking at. These are interests, research interests, but mainly energy efficiency and harvesting. This is something I like to talk about, and body area sensor network is becoming very famous. I have to run. E-health applications, this is where the hacking of the body will come into being. In medicine, Internet of Medicine is a big thing now. Telematics, medical records, whatever, then you go into telemedicine is old, but then medical virtual reality. And this is what the doctor will actually do an operation from remotely with intervention directly from the doctor, not telling others to do like telemedicine. So this is something which will be very crucial. Mobile medicine and smarter medicine, MEMS and NEMS, micro electromechanical systems and nano electromechanical systems. So you have in your body a capsule that will check your sugar level, whatever, give you medicine, maybe do an operation, and it's connecting to somewhere. Once it's connecting to somewhere, you can hack it. So once you hack it, you hack the whole body. You can kill a person, you can make him sick or her sick. So this is something that we are looking at very carefully for security. Now this is the whole ecosystem I talked about, which is R&BD, incubation, and so on, until you reach to main pillars education. You start everything from here. So whatever you do You with startup and startup growth phase, you have exit or equity, and then revenues come in, IP revenues also, and then you go to funding to bring it back. And these are some deal flows. This is the whole thing I talked about. I have now 3 minutes. Okay, I'm adding 2, but by the way, what she's saying. Okay, future trends. The main trends in ICT very quickly. Embedded intelligence. So you can see everywhere things are embedded. All the technology are embedded in every detail, even in the tire, wherever you go, it's embedded completely. It's very intelligent. Use a lot of artificial intelligence. In the future, we will not call it artificial intelligence, we'll call it digital intelligence, because it's not artificial anymore once I talk about something. And Moore's law is challenged now. Moore's law, you know that 2015 should stop, but challenge always there. So the tri-gate transistor, it was like 10 years ago, introduced to get rid of, or to challenge the Moore's law, so you can get 3 times faster and so on, and 3 times more. Quantum computers are coming, which you don't use bit, but you use qubits, and qubits are more than 2 levels. This means that quantum computers are limited to 2 states. Qubits represent atoms, so on. And because of quantum computer can contain multiple states simultaneously, it has the potential to be millions of times more powerful than today's computers. My time is finished. DNA computers is just a concept. It's there, but they say if it's successful, it'll be there in 50 years. Even a drop of DNA computer could be as powerful as all the computers of the world, because it's limitless of combinations of DNA. Disruptive innovation. It was one of the conferences saying that disruptive innovation of Ericsson CEO in 5G, Internet of Things, and cloud. These are the disruptive technologies. The 5th generation is going to be very also disruptive, because they're going to talk about energy efficiency, spectral efficiency, plus your mobile will be a space station, a base station. You don't need a base station anymore. So your device will be a base station. And device-centric it'll be, very cognitive, and so on. Then will come machine IQ, intelligent quotient. So when you buy a TV, the price goes up as the IQ goes up. If you're watching a TV and suddenly my son comes in, they may stop the TV automatically because I understand what I'm doing. The reason is because I'm watching something is over 13, my son could be 12 or 11. And then it knows what is my next step. So depending on IQ, you pay more and so on. So next future, everything will be thinking humanly, acting humanly, rational, and so on. Television will be there, coffee makers, refrigerators, air conditioners, houses, cars, road navigators, phones, and the list goes on. Singularity. Ray Kurzweil has written a book called The Singularity is Near When Humans Transcend Biology. This is a very interesting book. I think you need to read it if you have not read it. It's very interesting. The main thing is that achieving the software human intelligence, how to reverse engineer the human brain. So they want to reach the human brain capacity. And what he says, and I don't agree with him, in 2045, the computer brain will be as good as human brain, and later on will even transcend, be better. I don't agree with it because we are also evolving. Our kids know better than us in technology. So that's how it is. And it looks at 3 main things: genetics, nanotechnology, and robotics, strong artificial intelligence or strong digital intelligence. And this is what he says. This will lead to a technological singularity in the year 2045. Cognitive antivirus technology. This is a new thing that they're going to build antivirus of vaccines that mimic the digital vaccines that mimic the human vaccine. That means you're looking at now the immunity system. There will be digital immunity system which will mimic the biological immunity system. And this is where he says, in the smart cloud, we have, infrastructure as a service, we have software as a service, we have platform as a service, then will come vaccine as a service. So digital vaccines will be everywhere. So we have software, infrastructure, platform, vaccine, and health as a service. Improve connectivity. You are connected wherever you go, even in an empty quarter, you're connected. Then you will have connections are going to be machine, not anymore. You go to the airport, you'll automatically be recognized without doing anything. Go in, you don't need any passport, nothing. Everything will be machine to machine. And then you have Internet of Things. Internet of Things is important because mainly it deals with a self-configured thing. This should be naming, sensing, and processing. If it has processing, again 1 minute, thank you. With HATSA name, sensing, and processing capabilities to have Internet of Things. And this is what Internet of Things does. Prepare coffee before we get home, when I'm in my car, adjust it to a proper temperature, monitor the room, prepare a healthy diet for us, remind us for the food, and also remind us for the schedule. Plus, teach me, if a kid is dead, teach me as I come home. Now, in Tokyo 2020, there's Olympics 2020. They're going to build a robot city. And I've told the government of Dubai, let's build it before them. Well, it's even the Internet of Things will be there. Plus, the T-shirts, whatever the sports people are wearing it, they're going to have access to somewhere. Then we can know that you can go faster, you can go slower. Your heart is beating too much, maybe you need to stop. Everything will be connected through your shoes, through your shirts, whatever. And this is exactly what's going to happen in Tokyo 2020. Energy harvesting is the last thing I'm talking about. Now everything is energy harvesting. That means when I'm moving, I'm dissipating energy. We have to reuse the energy. So in the future, every energy will be reused. So you're not going to lose any energy. This will clean the environment and other things. So like solar, like movement, mechanical movement, like heat, and like also electromagnetics, all of these can be harvested. So the result, wireless everywhere. So wireless everywhere to anybody, anytime, anything, anywhere, whatever you can say, it'll be there in wireless everywhere. And this is the ubiquitous city model, which I have to run quickly. You'll have a convenient city, healthy city, safe city, and pleasant city, all controlled by a central smart center and smart learning. So what he has said from MIT, Fortune Favors the Bold, is a book by Lester Thora. He said the future favors the bold. I said the future is what our imagination leads us to. The future is what we create now today, and the imagination of the future is limitless. Thank you very much.
Mr. Issa Al-Bastaki, a dear friend, and also for the Emirates that we all live in. Thank you, sir. Thank you for this enlightening one. I request Mr. MP Sharma to please hand over the mementos to the chief guest and the guest of honor, Mr. Anurag Bhushan and Mr. Issa Al-Bastaki.